I forget the character's name because in my class, I'm dealing with so many names. Because these days there is Avyan, there's Ayan, there is Avyansh, I'm remembering those names.
I can imagine.
And again, I'm coming back to characters, so I'll have to flip back.
Hey, welcome back. It's another brand new episode of Invisible Work. And you already know why we call this podcast Invisible Work. Because, mums who hold up the world, hold up your house, well, they're doing so many things that you can't see, but it's all happening. So, of course, it's invisible work that is indescribably important. I'm Anjana Bopanna, and today on the podcast with me, I have someone who I'm very excited to talk to. One, because I feel like she'll be able to help me get over my fear of water. And two, because she can teach your 6-month-old how to be really comfortable in a pool. If you're as shocked as I was when I first heard this, well, let's hear it straight from her. Hi, Nirala. How are you doing?
Hi, Anjana. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
It's so wonderful to talk to you. So let me tell you a bit about Nirala Bopanna Rai. She started Bubbling Fish in 2014, and she is one of the few people who will tell you that it's perfectly fine to put your 6-month-old in water. And she's also someone who's raising 2 swimmers. Well, it's so amazing to hear about your company because it's wonderful to hear a mom who's doing something, absolutely brand new. But how did you come up with this idea? I mean, were you confident enough to put your little baby in the pool?
Absolutely, because this started with my kids.
Right.
So obviously I had the confidence. The entire Bubbling Fish evolved or originated because the need of a mother.
Right.
So I had to teach my little one who was scared and who was pushed and into water and who's petrified of water. So as a mother, I had to do something. So
right.
There was a need to teach my baby. There was a need to, handhold my baby and make her see that water is beautiful and enjoyable and not, fearful.
That's true, because that's the experience a lot of parents have. Probably even for themselves. Like I was asked to dive into the deep end of the pool when I was very young, and so after I learned how to swim, I basically never swam for like 20 years almost. Yeah. And I find that now coaching standards have changed, but there's still that sense of forcing the child before they are fully confident. Right. How do you approach something like that?
Now again, we treat kids, when they enroll into our classes, we treat kids as if it's their first time in water. So
right.
We don't expect that they've been going to the pool, they have prior skills or anything. So we treat as if it's first time. So we teach the parents when they accompany their kids in the pool, because we start from 6 months, so obviously they're coming to a new environment, and it's best to come with the parent that they trust. And when they come, we start from the basic step of how to enter the pool. It's not throwing your child and then getting in first, throwing your child to the coach and then you coming in the picture. No, how both of you can get in together,
right,
and make it fun and make it comfortable. So we start from that basic step of feeling the water,
right,
and then enjoying the water, and enjoying the space, enjoying the environment, and then later doing things in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then comes concurrent.
Wow.
All right. So you need to give so much time to your child to conquer. So that phase, is very important, where they enjoy the water. They need to see how to maneuver their body in water, how to turn, how to roll, how to go down, how to spit the water out, how to make a fountain out of it. And So let them enjoy first, and that's when they have a better feel of the water. And when we start teaching them the skill, the actual skill, it comes in beautifully, and they understand what we're trying to say when you've given that much time to feel the water and conquer the space. Then they will show their skill. They're ready to do that.
So they're able to approach the water when they're beginning to learn swimming. They're able to approach it without trepidation.
Yes.
That's an interesting phrase, right? Where they learn to conquer the water. Because, like I said, I still feel such a sense of anxiety about it. And this sounds like such an interesting technique. But so let me ask you this: what is a good age to actually introduce your kid to water? Because as an overly careful mother, I would think that 6 months might be too early. Maybe it'll lead to things like infection. They might fall sick. Is that something that's
see, actually, you can start at 3 months.
Wow.
Okay, you can start at 3 months. The program that I do are for babies from 3 months, but I choose to start from 6 months, considering the factors about the pool and the environment and everything else. So now I don't have a pool of my own. I go to centers. So, considering that, yes, it has been maintained in a particular way, with confidence, with whatever has been told to us that it has been maintained. With that confidence, I started 6 months, okay, keeping a safe buffer of 3 months post the third month mark.
Right.
6 months is absolutely safe. There are mothers who have no inhibitions and they come at 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and I take them because, they're okay to do it 5 months too. And they, in fact, it's lovely to see babies at 5 months because it's anyways they're cute with their 5 months, but enjoying water when they're 5 months old, it's lovely. And another interesting and best part of this is to see the parent. Enjoying that the process, enjoying that bond with the parent. It's just beautiful to see them that, in that half an hour. Sometimes the fathers get in. It's nice to see how they bond, in this class and through the process. And again, it's about building trust, okay? Because what is a new environment and whom are you trusting there to keep them safe? That parent. So you started building the trust from that age. And you started trusting that parent to keep you safe. So that, so he becomes your, safety net. And that bond, grows and continues.
And I would think that it's also, as a new parent, it's also a great, builder of confidence because, hey, I did this with my child. I put my child in this situation that, older parents would say is a precarious situation, and yet you and the child did well and enjoyed it. What a confident booster, right?
Yes, absolutely. It is, apart from, because a lot of parents bring their kids early because they say, we don't know to swim. But they're okay to bring their child into the pool, and they are holding the child, and they are, overcoming their fear of not knowing to swim. But they are okay to bring their child into water. But that is, again, amazing. Hats off to those parents who don't know to swim but are starting early with their kids, which is just lovely.
It's a great way to grow together.
Absolutely, it's a great way to grow together. And these classes, when you start at 6 months, it's just not swimming skill. Okay, it's about developing their motor skill, hand-eye coordination, their sense of balance, their body movement, and you also develop their cognitive skill. So when you bring them that early, it's just not swimming skill, it's an overall development that you're looking at. Because there's some kind of association happening in our classes, because we sing, we use toys, we use something. So now you're building that kind of association. And say we are singing a particular rhyme, and we're associating it with a particular activity. When you say, oh, we are doing this Incy Wincy Spider. So when you're doing Incy Wincy Spider, we are supposed to crawl along the deck. So there's an association of, that activity. So you're developing their cognitive skill and their memory and things like that. And apart from that, I would like to say that bubbling fish is their first school, because they come in at 6 months, and we teach them colors, we teach them shapes, we sing to them, and things like this. So it's a first
it's
school.
more than just swimming.
It's more than swimming. So it's important to bring them early. And
that's amazing. Because I didn't think of those aspects of it.
Yes. And apart from this, the most important aspect is water safety.
Yes.
Okay. Your child maybe can do few laps. Okay. Maybe can do few laps in a pool. But say there was an accident, because pool is not the only water body. Okay, there could be lily pond, which is just 2 feet. There could be lakes, there could be river, there could be bathtub, or a bucket. Okay, so if a 1.5-year-old say is fallen into water accidentally and doesn't know to save itself, then what's the point of just knowing to paddle or swim? So we do teach them water safety. We teach them to hold on to something. We teach them to believe in themselves, that they can hold and grab onto something and stay afloat. We teach them to look inside the water. So we don't start with goggles. Whatever age they are, they don't come in with goggles. I encourage them to open their eyes, look around you, because when something happens, you shouldn't be closing your eyes and just panicking. You need to look around to hold on to something, and you need to believe your shoulder strength to crawl to safety. Be it a riverbed or something, and you need to learn to get out of a water body on your own and not just go up. You need to get out. You won't have ladders everywhere. You don't have ladder in a lily pond. You don't have a ladder in a bucket or a bathtub. So you need to know how to come out and stay up. So this is what we teach. Water safety.
These are valuable lessons that you carry through life.
Skills.
They're life skills.
Life skills.
I mean,
this is what
true. Swimming is a life skill, right?
It's and even we teach them to flip, to be on their back. That's the survival skill. Until, say, for babies, because of course we can bubble, breathe, and stay underwater. Say 5 minutes or 3 minutes based on your lung capacity. For babies, it's lesser. So if you teach them to flip and float on their back, they can breathe and be safe. So we do teach them at a very young age.
That's a fantastic curriculum.
Yes. But I would like to say that all this doesn't happen in 1 month. This happens over time. It takes them some time. The child needs to learn to maneuver the body. Body control, body movement.
While all along getting to know the water.
Yes.
And the nature's force that water is.
Yes.
So I always tell my son that, don't be afraid of water, but be respectful of it, because it is a much more powerful being than you.
Yes, absolutely. So this is what we teach. So bring them early.
Wow.
They can save themselves.
I feel like rewinding my son's early years and now, like making him go back to 6 months and bring him on. So I want to ask you, what's your background? Were you always a swimmer? Were you an athlete?
Not really. So I come from a small town called Puttur, which is 50 kilometers from Bangalore, which is a bigger city.
Yes.
And had swimming pools.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately for me, it was only summer classes because we couldn't drive every day to go to Bangalore and swim every day. It had to be only during summer, and you could go and learn swimming. So I did the summer program, and that's how I learned swimming.
Right.
But again, there, because I was someone who was very enthusiastic and loved to swim, and I was good at my timing. The coach asked my parents if I could get into competitive squad, knowing the distance. And we didn't have a pool in Puttur, and we couldn't relocate to Bangalore. I couldn't take that offer up, but I continued to swim. All our holidays revolved around pool, vacations,
Activities, okay.
pool activities, beach, and then I continued to stay connected to water. And say, for example, when I moved to Bangalore, you have a dull day, you just swim few laps.
Yeah.
Because there's just you there and your thoughts. There's nobody talking to you. There's no noise.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you come out fresh.
Yeah.
And you're sorted in your head.
It's the ultimate pick-me-up.
So that is what swimming is for me. So I don't come from a competitive background.
Okay.
But I come from a background who loved water and who enjoyed water. And I want to go back to water.
Yeah.
That's where I come from.
Yeah.
And that is what is in me. So one of the philosophy of Bubbling Fish is to bring back kids to water willingly. Where you don't have to force the child saying, oh, hey, today is swimming day.
Yeah.
But the child should ask the parents, when is my swimming class?
Yeah.
So that is what we want to create. Okay, start enjoying water.
Yeah.
And then everything will fall in place.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't end there. Because, see, now if you're taking up any other sport, say you don't take up swimming competitively, you're doing your cricket, you're doing your tennis, and you're doing whatever. Swimming they will recommend you to swim twice a week.
Yes.
or do something, because there is no injury there. You're not bearing weight. What I would say is, you don't bear weight there.
Zero impact.
Yes. So it is a nice recovery.
Yeah.
For all sport that you're playing, this is a nice recovery exercise. I would say, if you're swimming twice a week. And again, when you're 70, when you're 80, if you can't play an impact sport like tennis or badminton, I mean, I'll be glad if somebody is still playing. I mean, it's great.
Yes.
But you can still swim.
Yeah.
You can still swim. And you can safely get into water and swim when you're expecting.
Yes.
You can do something.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay fit, but you cannot jog, you have some complications and you cannot lift heavy or whatever it is, you still can swim.
And it's a full body workout, right? Like,
it's a full
it's
body
great for the core, it's great for your
Absolutely.
arms, legs.
Yes.
That's the one lesson.
Your lungs.
Yeah, true.
Your lungs.
It's the one lesson I learned when I got back to the pool, because I started
Yes.
relearning to swim when my
Right.
child was, and I had forgotten the kind of incredible impact it has on forget shaping your body,
Right.
but building your strength,
Yes.
which is so wonderful.
Yeah. So this is something. So if you've had that love, if you've been introduced to water in a loving way, then you will get back to it at some point. Say, during your course, I mean, kids will take up tennis.
Yes.
They will take up. Somebody likes football. They might be different, an athlete or something like that. But you will come back to this, because if you've liked it,
Yeah.
at some point when you can't do, which is rigorous, you will
This
come
will-
back to this.
yeah.
But if you've had if you've not been introduced to it in a right way, you're like, swimming, I don't like, I was pushed. I know to swim, but I rather stay away from it. I had to learn it because of I was forced to learn in the summer. My parents sent me, and we were forced to jump from the first ladder, the second ladder, and then that's it. I don't care. You will not come back.
That what you just said sounds like my crib. Yeah. I'm going to go back to how you said you weren't really a swimmer, you weren't an athlete before you started bubbling fish.
Right.
In fact, you were in a corporate job.
Yes.
So how did you make that switch? Did you, did you go cold turkey, quit your corporate job, or did you, come back around to it?
Right. So going back to the thing that I said, the need of a mother.
Yes.
So yes, I worked for the corporate field for 10 years.
Wow.
And then I had my first one, and I continued to work. And when it was time, like any mother, when they're 4, you want to enroll them to gymnastics, for swimming and something, and you want to engage them. That's all we want to do. Yeah. So that's what happened. I enrolled her for her swimming lessons, but unfortunately, she wasn't introduced in a right way. The teaching method was just pushing the child when the child is not ready and just watching her struggle and reach the deck. And in the course of time, you created fear, you've created, aversion to it.
And uncertainty about how to maneuver.
Correct. You're not enjoying that.
It's not explained.
Correct. And the child would come back crying and she would howl. I would look at my child howling and crying and it was really sad to watch my child do that. And then if Wednesdays was swimming, something would definitely happen on Wednesday, stomachache or headache or something like that, to skip swimming. So I knew what was happening with the child. She didn't enjoy the process. And then that's when I realized, this is not working out. But I knew how beautiful it is to swim.
Right.
And I wanted that for for my baby. I got in touch with one of my friends who's a coach, and it was just a discussion saying, this is happening, my baby doesn't like swimming, what do I do? He's like, you teach. And I said, see, I'm not qualified to teach. There's some kind of training. He said, do that. Then I, with his help, and he helped me, and to get in touch with the right people who conduct these trainings. So I got in touch with, a firm, and then got myself certified to teach. But that's when that certification I could teach only 4 and above, the usual 4 and above teaching. And then I started to teach my child because she was 4 then.
Right.
Yeah, the first one. And I started teaching her, and then and she started enjoying the process. My little one by then was 2.5. Now 2.5 is a different ball game. That is not hard. I mean, the things that you teach 4, you cannot teach at 2.5, or you couldn't use the same method.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do something and start teaching babies. And then so I did a master course for infant and toddlers, which certifies you to teach from 6 months. Okay, so it's like doing your MBBS and doing your MD.
Yes.
It's something like that. Okay,
Right.
The first course was for to teach babies from 4 years to 8 years. Then the master course, allows me to teach from 6 months to 4 years.
It's a smaller...
Niche. Yeah. You're focusing.
Yes.
So I did that, and I started teaching my younger one, who was 2.5 then. And then, and they enjoyed, and then my kids' friends joined me, and they said, come on, my kids, I mean, even they don't like swimming, can you? So it was a gang of 4, and we started teaching in the club, But then there were more parents and grandparents watching me teach these 4, and they're like, can my grandkid join your class? And then I was like, oh, the club is going to kick me out,
Yeah.
if I gang up and do my own class.
Yeah.
So by then I was certified,
Okay.
So I approached the committee and said, can I do it? I'm actually certified to teach.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of parents interested. And they believed, see, it was something new then.
Yeah.
They took a chance and they believed in me. But they believed, I would say, in a mother.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was maybe I'm just thinking, maybe if I was college pass out and did this, and I said, oh, I want to teach babies, I don't know if
they would take that chance
on me. I was a mother, and I knew
who had put her own kids through
into this, and then I taught my own kids. I used the course on my own kids and my friends' kids. And I said, I can teach.
Yeah.
Then I went the formal route and started teaching the club members there.
Right. And
so that's when the switch happened. Yeah.
And so you quit your job and you registered.
I quit my job and I started this. So again, that was just a small community, because club is only for club members.
Yes, it is a more exclusive.
And it so happened that we took pictures of babies going underwater and all that, and then I posted on my Facebook. Facebook was happening then, And there were a lot of them asking me, wow, can you teach my kids? Can we come to the club and this and that? And then I said, oh, the club now doesn't allow non-members.
Yeah.
So I looked at a center, outside, and that's when actually I was accessible to, broader and larger audience.
Right.
And that's how slowly I grew. And then knowing Bangalore people cannot trek from Whitefield, to just for that half an hour class.
Yeah.
So I figured that, it is important that I am available at their area. And that's when I grew. I kind of have placed myself in the important or prominent accessible areas of Bangalore.
Right.
So now I have 11 centers.
Lovely.
And team, because I cannot be everywhere. I train my team, and they work with me and see how important it is and how to teach babies and to understand them and things like that. So they get trained with me,
right?
And then they.
So how would you, in terms of expansion over 10 years,
right?
So would you say that increasing the number of centers was really your expansion game?
No, not at all. Not at all. So there's nothing planned. I'm the kind of person who's not like a great planner.
Okay.
I would say I take things as it comes. Okay, that's me. Okay, and I want to give that 100%.
Right.
For what I'm doing now.
Right.
Okay, that's what I believe. And I was doing my best in that one center. And then when I had requests saying, this particular center is too far, we cannot come, can you do something in our area? I saw the need of that mother, genuine need of that parent. And, that was the need.
Right.
And I said, okay, I need to make myself or the bubbling fish program available to the parents in that area. And see, in Bangalore, both the parents work. Most of the parents work, and weekends is when they can come, because my program is parent toddler.
Yes.
So weekends, the parents can get into the water, be it father or the mother. They have the time, And so a lot of requests for weekend classes, especially in the IT area, say near Manyata, near Whitefield,
right.
And near Hebal. So I saw the need of these, classes and their timings and, when they can come. So I worked around it, you know,
Right.
and I have more classes happening on the weekend. So it's a gradual process. It's a gradual understanding of what the need is. So this 10 years, it took me 10 years to do 10 centers. So,
Right, yeah.
so, and see, even when you're training a teacher, see, this is new. So when somebody comes and says, I have teaching experience, when I want to hire, when I want to expand. So now if I have to take another center, then I need more people because I cannot be in 10 centers,
Yes,
obviously,
true.
right?
Yes.
So I have to have a team. Now, when somebody comes to me and says, I have teaching experience, but do you have teaching experience for babies? Have you taught a 6-month-old? No.
Huge difference.
Huge difference. So I have to train them for 6 months. The teacher. I have to train them for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I can send them to a center, confident enough, saying, yes, this teacher is ready to teach babies.
Yeah.
So it took me 10 years to get that people, train them and send them and, to the center.
Because
to
this
take
is not
on.
just something that they can do. They can't learn on the job.
No.
They have to be really
Yes.
confident that they can do
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Yeah,
confident,
because
yeah.
it is a life or death situation.
Yes, yes,
when you
yes.
have such a young baby
Absolutely.
who is inept at almost anything else in the water, right?
Right,
So, would you say that was one of your biggest challenges?
Absolutely.
In this particular kind of.
Yes, absolutely. Because when I started, it was really a niche, thing. And
I think even now you
it
might
is,
be
yes,
the only
yes,
person in
yes.
Bangalore.
Not really. There are few, but I'm the only person who does only this.
Yes.
Okay, my bubbling fish is infant and toddler program.
Right.
Right.
So you would say that is from 6 months to,
To
6 years?
6 years, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. See, I do only that.
Right.
That's where I want to improve. I want to think about what to do next, or how can I, do better. My focus is only that.
But then
So-
how does, when it's such a niche business and such a niche target audience, how does a company like Bubbling Fish grow? What would the specs of
Right,
that
right.
growth look like?
Again, it was always word of mouth.
Uh-huh.
It was word of mouth. Now, say there were 3 kids enrolled, then that parent is happy, and when the mommies meet, they say, what's your child doing? And they say, oh, I'm taking my kid to the swimming classes. He enjoys it. It's so lovely. It was just word of mouth. And of course, social media, which I handled, I was not great at it.
Okay.
And I don't know if I did a good job. I don't think through social media I got leads or anything then.
Right.
It was word of mouth. And I think that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Because if you've done good, and if you did the class well, that mother will be happy or the father will be happy and go back.
It's
and
a proper sanctified recommendation.
correct.
True.
It's a good recommendation, which is coming from somebody who's experienced,
Yes.
rather than reading or
Because moms who are unhappy with a certain course
Yes,
or a
yes,
certain,
yes.
will also go
Yeah.
out there and talk about it.
Absolutely.
So
So that was for me. That was it.
But from here on, what? Because the reason I ask is so many entrepreneurial moms are doing very niche things.
Right.
Either because they're plugging a gap, either because they're plugging a gap in the market, or because they feel like it was what they needed. What happens when you are running a business with such a niche audience? How do you expand? What are the strategies do you think you foresee yourself employing for the future?
Now to have a good team, okay, I need to have a very strong team if I have to expand, okay. And at the moment, I visit centers, okay.
Right.
So most of the time, they give me a time slot which is not used by them. Okay, not the prime time. I don't get the prime time. Okay, they give me the time slot which is not used, and because it's their center.
Correct.
And they already have their curriculum happening. They already have their in-house coaches who, do 4 and above and all that. No, I go in with saying, see, this is new. People want this. But then they're excited about the program, but this is the time slot we have. So I'm working around the time slot that they have.
Right, yeah.
So now I need to have a center where
the focus
is
with bubbling
fish.
Focus.
Yes. So that is where I want to, focus, probably a center.
Lovely.
Okay. Now, if the mother says, you know what, the centers, you have your classes between 2 and 4, but that's the nap time and this time. So when I have my center, I should be able, if baby of a 2-year-old baby has 3 naps a day, they wean off only by 4 or 5. I think it comes down to 1 nap a day.
Yeah.
So if the mother comes and says, I have this 1 hour time slot between his nap, can I do a class? Can I get a time slot then? I should be able to say, yes, come, this is my center. I'll give you a time slot.
Yeah.
That is what I want to, work around the need of the child.
Right.
That is
because that age group really...
Yes.
That age group does have limitations in terms of how long they can be awake, and they probably get tired a lot faster.
Yeah, because when I approached the center, they said, we have a free slot between 1 and 3. And I tell them, I am dealing with babies. 1 is lunchtime. Definitely they're going to be cranky. It's not going to. So I have to think about their nap time, their sleep time, the mother's, availability. So all these dynamics.
That's a lot to figure out.
Yeah, a lot to figure out. This is before doing class.
Yeah.
Okay, Anjana. There's a lot to figure out when you're doing a class. So when you're starting at 6 months, the challenges that we face with the baby and the mother, then by 2-year-old, because the child is growing with the brain size also is growing, imaginations grow, they start dreaming, they kind of get a sense of fear. Then they know what fear is. At 6 months they don't know what fear is. If the child is not comfortable, it could be noise or new environment, new face in the pool, some other baby, some other mother doesn't want to see new face. That's all. That's what it is. But when you're at 2-year mark, there's different dynamics. So you need to know what category of babies you're handling, how to handle it. Then when you move up to 3-year-old, there are a lot of parents who come up to me. He was beautifully doing his thing. Now he just doesn't want to do. He just says no. So your child has moved to an age group where he has a voice of his own. He has learned the word no. It is not just swimming.
Yeah.
It is with everything else.
Yeah.
He's learned to say, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to eat this today. Can you give me something else? He's learned to voice himself.
Yeah.
Okay? That is what he's doing there. So that means if he has to continue swimming, we need to use something else there. So that's why we don't club babies.
Even though the age group is so tight, you can't club them.
I don't. I have different age groups. And over years I've assessed and made the study saying till 1.5 they're okay. So I'm having that this is my age group.
Yeah.
Then 1.6 to 2.8 is the group where say I can entice them to doing something. 3 to this one is hard. So my game is different with them.
They're like mini teenagers.
Yeah. My teaching is different there. More of game. I can do this. I did this. Now come on, you show me.
Yeah.
It's different. So I cannot club. So this is where I am different from others. And somebody is doing different. They'll put everybody in one group. And everything say
all the 6-year-olds.
Correct.
Or 3 to 6, 3
I
to
know of
10
people doing from 9 years to 3 years.
Oh.
So 9 months to 3 years together.
That's hard.
No, that's hard. I have, these categories so that I've seen the change, because my lesson plan is different for this age group. This baby cannot do this. So physiologically they cannot do.
Right.
There are few things they cannot do.
Yeah.
So my lesson plan cannot have it.
Have the same. Yeah.
So that is where I'm different from the others. And the challenge, like you coming back to your question, is to cater to everybody's needs. Okay, that is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Tell me, do your kids ever feel jealous about having to share you in the pool?
Oh yes.
You have 2 daughters, right?
I have 2 daughters. So it is not about jealous, about sharing in the pool. This is funny. They always say, Amma, you are patient with your students in the pool. You're so nice to them, you're patient with them, you're so, giving them time, but you're not with us. You exhaust your patience in the pool and you come home.
That is such a kid-risk analysis of the situation.
Yeah. This is what it is. It is not jealous, but they say, I'm more patient with my kids, babies.
With someone else's children. But your own.
So this is...
that's adorable.
Yeah, because they are enjoying their swimming, so they don't
you were
feel
telling me
left
that
out,
they're both now training to be competitive swimmers.
Yes,
In fact, your younger daughter just won a medal at the state championships. National championships.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a name to look out for then. So
Yes,
how does it feel to, have them go from not wanting to do this to actually reaching such a high level of competition?
It is really great, because from how we started to what they're doing now is really, really great, because I would say they enjoyed water. They enjoyed the process. Okay, and that's why they're doing it well.
And you made that happen. I mean, you made that happen as a mother and as a businesswoman. Now that's huge pat. You deserve a huge pat on the back.
Thank you. But a lot goes in now, because they're competitive swimmers. A lot goes in. It has to come from within for them. Okay, we as parents, we can take care of all the logistics, but if you want to be a competitive swimmer, you have to wake up at 4 in the morning. Again, you have to swim in the evening. You have to watch your diet. You cannot have that piece of cake, every day, or you'll have to count. An athlete's life. So that has to come within, right? If they want to do it, really want to do it, then they have to stick to these things.
Yeah.
So now it's in their hands.
Wow.
We just help them logistically.
Lovely. Thank you, Nirala. It was so wonderful talking to you. I want to ask you for a few recos. We do this with every mom on Invisible Work. Do you have any recos, something you've either just read or something you, maybe binge watched?
Right. So I actually don't get time to really read, because if I have a little time, then I have to answer emails. But I used to read before Bubbling Fish, but I said I need to get back to reading. So I have this problem of not remembering names of the characters in the book, because I cannot read at a stretch, because there's so many things happening. I cannot read at a stretch. So when I revisit the book after a day or after 2 days, I forget the character's name, because in my class I'm dealing with so many names. Because these days there is Avyan, there's Ayan, there is Avyansh, there is... I'm remembering those names.
I can imagine.
And again I'm coming back to characters, so I'll have to flip back the pages and go back saying, whose daughter is
Yeah.
which mafia is this, and what are they talking about? So that used to happen,
Yeah.
and then kind of I lost interest. But I picked up Sudha Murthy's book recently, which I thought was a light read, and I picked up a book that had fewer pages,
Okay,
because
yeah.
in the confidence of finishing the book.
Yeah.
And Sudha Murthy is someone who's had a humble background and grew up in a small town, which I could relate to, because I was born and brought up in a small town. So few things I could relate to. So I think I could read faster.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have many characters in the book.
That's great.
So I could remember the names. So that's not a recommendation. That was my personal. That worked for me.
Yeah.
So I did that.
A good book to pick up for busy mums.
Yes.
Less to remember.
Less to remember, and it's a very light
Slice of life sort of writing.
Yeah. But and actually, in her books, there is something to take back. Yeah,
true.
there's always, she has something there.
Yeah. Yeah, I find, because we know her public persona as well as we do, you feel like you know her already.
Correct.
So
Yes.
you can see her voice shine through her books, right? I like
very
that.
simple, reading, and very light reading, and you come back. And I'm very emotional person. There are times when I've cried reading a book.
Oh, so sweet. Okay,
I cry reading. When
Yeah.
my kids make fun of me, Amma, she said, who cries watching a Godzilla, they say. And I cry, I can cry watching a Godzilla.
Wait, are you crying for Godzilla or are you crying for the townspeople?
Okay,
that's an important question.
Yeah. But so I'm very emotionally,
Right.
I get emotionally attached to the character or something
Right.
like that. So I want to read something light.
Nice. That's great. Thank you so much, and all the best to you. More power to you. Before I let you go, I want to. How can people get in touch with you?
Now we have our website.
Right.
And we are active on our Instagram.
Okay.
And so they can get in touch. They can just leave or drop a message on our website, which is thebubblingfish.com.
The Bubbling Fish.
Thebubblingfish.com. So you can just drop a message there and we can get back to them, and we will help them with the centers that's closest to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Super. All the best, and thank you again. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to this episode of Bubbling Fish. Remember, swimming isn't just about being afloat, it's a life skill, and get to that pool right away. I can vouch for the fact that it did help my core strength. Well, continue on with your invisible work, and we'll see you with the next mum. Thank you for listening to Invisible Work. I'm Anjana Panna, and be sure to follow us on Spotify and on YouTube. And of course, check out our website, invisiblework.mom/deals for all listener deals. It's all in there, so be sure to go and check it out. You can also send me your comments and feedback at anjana@invisiblework.mom. We look forward to your support. Keep listening to Invisible Work.